What's going on, everybody? Welcome into a fresh hour of CBS Sports HQ. I'm Jacqueline D'Agostino. We got the guys in studio basically all day today with Douzable and Pete Prisco. This is how we know that football is back. How you guys feeling? You excited?
We're here.
We're ready. Let's get some real football, though. Enough with the preseason.
Okay.
Still got about 2 more weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say, we still have some time for the preseason, but we're also getting some news down in terms of QB1s, who is going to be QB1 for a lot of teams, and we got some news about the Colts. So it is time for an NFL division preview presented by Verizon. We are targeting the AFC South because Daniel Jones has been named QB1 over Anthony Richardson, Pete, who the Colts took number 4 overall in 2023. Did you see this coming?
Well, I mean, it was a close competition, and so I think this is one of those deals where they say, hey, look, we could have a better chance to win right now with Daniel Jones rather than find out what you have in Anthony Richardson for developmental. So I think it makes sense from that standpoint. I personally would have played Anthony Richardson, find out who he is. That's what I would have done.
All right, so the Texans, we know they are the favorites for the division, and Lige, we're wondering about C.J. Stroud. Are we going to see rookie C.J. Stroud, or are we going to see C.J. Stroud from the 2024 season? When you're looking at the makeup of this team, how do you feel about C.J. Stroud?
I think the biggest question, and that was the question last year, is the offensive line. They've revamped it. It's a new offensive line. They lose Laramie Tunsil and lose other people on that offensive line as well. But they have the subsequent pass catchers on the outside. Nico Collins. People aren't talking enough about Christian Kirk. I love the makeup of this Houston Texans team. The question is, everybody says, is C.J. Stroud going to have a down year? It's going to be based off the offensive line. If the offensive line can protect, he will have a really good year.
It always comes back to the offensive line,
always,
right?
Always.
All right. So we're going from the favorites in the division to the long shot. So that is the Tennessee Titans. Lige, Cam Ward, is that your offensive rookie of the year pick?
No, I think that's a little bit rich, right? There's too many moving pieces. Now, they did revamp the offensive line, so you would think he's going to have some great protection. His issue in college, sometimes he ran out when he didn't need to of the pocket, right? The protection was there. Also, subsequent pass catchers on the outside, right? I love Calvin Ridley, but who else is going to step up? Is the tight end going to step up, or is it going to be Io Manor? That's the big question.
All right, let's go to Duval. Pete, we got to talk about our boy T-Law, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence, T-Law, one and the same. You know, we're all kind of expecting, or hoping, I should say, for Trevor Lawrence to take the next step under Liam Cohen. Does he do it in what's seemingly a prove-it year for him?
Well, the first step he had to take was tightening up his mechanics and tightening up his motion. So far, so good. And sometimes you wonder if it's going to carry over into the game. It has. So far in 2 preseason games, he's been very good. I think this is a breakout year for him. And I thought that last year he got hurt. He didn't play well. The offense was totally misjudged and misguided, I thought, the way they ran it. So I think this is a better system for him. I think this is the year he has the big breakout. 32 touchdown passes for Trevor Lawrence this year.
All right, and so we're going to continue the conversation about the quarterbacks in the AFC South. We want you guys to kind of rank all of these quarterbacks here. So we're going to go Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, Daniel Jones, Cam Ward, and kind of give us a consensus ranking of where they stack up. You want to start at the bottom?
We can start at the bottom.
Start at the bottom. Where are you at?
We'll start at the bottom and work with the top. Isn't there a song about that somewhere?
I'm sure there is.
He started at the bottom, and where we at?
Yeah, me and Pete, I think, are together on Cam Ward being number 4. Obviously, a rookie quarterback. You have to see what he does throughout the regular season. Now, he has struggled at times throughout the preseason with some accuracy, and I feel like that Brian Callahan could do maybe a better job of getting him in rhythm early. Because, Pete, his second drive always seems like he's more comfortable, more in rhythm, getting the ball to his playmakers. We saw that with Calvin Ridley and Io Manor getting them the football. But to me, you have to put him at 4 because we don't know what Cam Ward is going to be in a regular season game. These other quarterbacks we actually have seen play NFL football. So Cam Ward's number 4 on the list.
Yeah, he'd be number 4, but by midseason he might be number 3 or maybe even pushing for number 2. There's a lot to like about Cam Ward. He hadn't looked great in the preseason. It hadn't been awful, but it hasn't been as sharp as you would like for the guy drafted 1st overall, and there are reasons for it. You talk about the offensive line. They think they've improved there. We'll see. And where are the other weapons beside Ridley? So I think there's some issues there, but I do think that he's going to progress as the season goes along. It's just a matter of, can he get better than number 4? I think he can.
Yeah, and according to Cam Ward, he says he has, what, like a top 5 receiver room in the NFL?
I mean, what are you supposed to say as a quarterback?
That's what a young quarterback will say to try and boost up his guys. And by the way, some of those guys are his buddies from Miami.
Yeah, so Cam Ward's at number 4. Who comes in at number 3?
I think Daniel Jones, right? This is a guy that has taken the Giants to the playoffs in the past. And to Pete's point, when you look at it, Shane Steichen, he looked at it. We have Anthony Anthony Richardson, we have Daniel Jones. If I can get the Daniel Jones I got in 2022, we would have made the playoffs the last 2 years. They were on the cusp. Let's not forget 2 years ago, they had a division lead, Week 18 versus the Houston Texans, and Gardner Minshew didn't play well. Last year, Anthony Richardson, they were in playoff contention, didn't play well down the stretch. So he looked at this and said, Anthony Richardson does have the upside, but I'm in year 3, Pete. Like, usually coaches only get 3 years to make the playoffs. So I need to figure out. I know I have playmakers on the outside. Even when inept quarterback play, they had 3 guys go over 800 yards receiving. I think Shane Steichen said Daniel Jones, if you could just steer the ship, right? We don't need you to do too much. Just steer the ship. We have a chance to maybe fight our backs into the playoffs.
Hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. Hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. Take some shots to the tight end. And
they got 3 good receivers, though.
And throw the ball down the field to the deep players. Yeah, look, the bottom line is he's safer than Anthony Richardson. I think that's ultimately why they went for that. I don't think he's ever going to bring the team up when it needs to be brought up. But as long as he doesn't mess it up, they'll be a decent team.
Yeah, they got, what, 8 wins last season?
Yeah, they can get 8. They can get 8 in that division.
Yeah. All right, so 1 and 2, Pete, kind of rattle us off here. Who comes in at number 1? Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, where are you at?
I'm putting Stroud at number 1. Look, Stroud didn't play well last year, and there were a lot of reasons. The offense, they fired the offensive coordinator, changed there. They'll be better from that standpoint. The offensive line was terrible. He held the ball too long last year, and his receivers got hurt. Well, now Collins is back healthy. You also get Christian Kirk to help. They drafted 2 young receivers to help the passing game. And the offensive line, I still don't think it's improved. I still think you go from Laramie Tunsil to Cam Robinson, you're not better. So there's still some concerns there, but I think he bounces back and has a big season. Trevor Lawrence will be right there with him, though. I think it's going to be close. I think both teams are going to be neck and neck, and I think it's going to be very close, in large part because I think Trevor Lawrence is going to play much better in this offensive system than he did in the one under Doug Peterson.
Yeah, I had Lawrence at 2 and also C.J. Stroud at 1. You look at it, Lawrence, this is the year. Like, there's no more excuses. Liam Cohen is your offensive coordinator. We've seen him get the best out of Will Levis. We've seen him get the best out of Baker Mayfield. So if he can't get the best out of you, it's not everybody else. It's on you. They got the subsequent weapons on the outside. They refortified that offensive line, and they'll be significantly better on defense. It comes down to Trevor Lawrence. And again, with Liam Cohen, I would assume he's going to have a better year. C.J. Stroud, again, the sophomore slump last year, due in part to the offensive line. Now, again, there's a lot of question marks there. And another big question mark that people aren't talking about, Joe Milton. We haven't seen him. And he was a pivotal piece of that offense.
Yeah, if Mixon isn't there, it's a big
There's going to be more pressure on C.J. Stroud, but he does have the weapons on the outside. I think they'll be fine.
And Jacksonville has to run the ball to take the pressure off that passing game as well, which is why Tootin, keep an eye on the rookie. He's going to be an explosive player.
And I mean, we're saying it's going to kind of a competition there in the running back room.
He's held on to it so far. He's been their best back. He's their best back.
All right, so those are the quarterback rankings and in terms of the confidence that you guys have in the AFC South. We're going to transition to play a little game, fill in the blank. We have one for each team, so I'll alternate here, and we're starting in Jacksonville. Pete, this one is for you, where of course the conversation is this guy, Travis Hunter. How many snaps is he going to play? So the fill in the blank is Travis Hunter will play blank percentage of snaps this season.
80%.
Ooh, that's steep.
And by the way, I didn't believe that at all. After spending time there in minicamp and spending time there in training camp, I'm convinced that he can do it. And he's going to play almost all the snaps on defense, if not all of them. I think he's going to be a starting corner. They love him as a cornerback. He's got a natural feel for the position. As a wide receiver, he'll probably play, not all of them, but close to all.
Like 50-60% of
yeah, I think he's going to be close to all of them. They think they can get 55 catches, 60 catches, and 7-8 touchdowns out of him. Wow. And if they do that, it's going to be a hell of a rookie year for him. I think he would be rookie of the year. Maybe,
Can he win both?
Both.
That would be some crazy stuff. All right, let's go to the Colts here, where you talked about coaches only getting X amount of years, right? So Shane Steichen saves his job with a blank record for the Colts. Lee-J.
If they go 9-8, I think he has a chance because they have a backdoor chance to get into the playoffs. Now, the only question is they have a tough schedule. They play the AFC West and the NFC West, who are a lot of people assume are the best divisions on their side of football. And you see it right there. They have games against the Cardinals, Chargers, Steelers, Chiefs, Texans, Jaguars, Seahawks, 49ers. So it's a tough schedule. But again, if you're saying Steichen, you're saying the last 2 years, we've had, I believe, 9 wins, 8 wins, and we have had inept quarterback play. If we just get semi-consistent quarterback play, maybe that bolsters up to 9. Maybe even we can sneak 10 because they love the playmakers they have on offense. Now, the big question mark, me and Pete were talking about this, they got some issues at corner with a lot of injuries at the cornerback position. But on offense, right, with Tyler Warren and that three-headed monster, you can even say four-headed monster with A.D. Mitchell at receiver and Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, like they have the beginnings of an explosive offense. It's just up to the quarterback not to mess it up. Just get it to the playmakers. If Daniel Jones can do that, I believe 9-8 could potentially sneak them into the playoffs and Shane Steichen would keep his job.
All right, I mean, yeah, hey, if you get 8 wins with like mediocre quarterback play.
He's going to have a winning record.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said 9-8,
so
maybe
9
sneak in. Yeah.
Let's go to the Texans. I know we were talking about the offensive line and in terms of Houston a lot, but we're going to talk about the defense here. So, Pete, the Texans have the blank best defense in the NFL.
Probably 5. I think they have a chance. With the secondary is across the board.
The best secondary in football.
It's unreal how good they are. They have 2 pass rushers. That's when you have 2 pass rushers and a secondary like that, you're going to be a good defense.
Correct.
And so I think from that standpoint, the one concern would be the defensive tackle position. You know, they're not great there. Do they get run on a little bit? But I think if they stop the run, they're going to be a top 5 defense. So I think I'll say 5.
Okay. And lastly, Lige, we got to talk about the Titans because, you know, they picked #1 overall for a reason. They have Cam Ward, so the Titans are blank years away from contending.
I'm going to say 2 years, bare minimum. They've revamped their offensive line, but we talked about it earlier, the subsequent weapons. I don't know if they're really on the roster right now, so they're going to have to get some more talent for Cam Ward to disperse the football around. And then on defense, L'Jarius Sneed, is he going to be healthy? That's the big question mark in that secondary, because if he is healthy, I like their 3 starting corners, and they're under contract for the next couple years. So I think the Titans are at least 2 years away from truly contending.
All right, and finally, very quickly here, who wins the AFC South? Fill in the blank. Lige, we'll start with you.
The Texans.
Okay.
The Texans. It's close, though. Jacksonville push them.
I'm going to say the Jags. I'm just going to insert myself in the conversation.
You're a homer.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what, though? It's going to be close. The Texans' schedule is brutal, by the way. If you take a
first place team, they get the first place schedule.
They got a brutal schedule.
Yeah. Okay, so the guys are both going with the Texans to win the AFC South. Lige, Pete.